What is going on, guys? It's Amit and welcome to lesson number 7 in JavaScript. In this lesson, we're going to learn all about the different data types that we have available to us. We'll look at how to use the data types and the key differences between them. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe down below and choose all notifications so you never miss an update. Okay, so welcome back to lesson number 7 on data types. So to begin with then, what do we mean when we say data types? Well, in JavaScript, a value is always of a certain type. These types are known as data types. For example, in the previous lessons, you've seen me type something like this. So we can say let num be assigned the value of 7. Here we've assigned the value of 7 to our num variable. This is known as a number data type or simply a number. We could also say something like let channel be assigned the value of dev dreamer. So here, the value that we've assigned to the variable name channel is dev dreamer. This particular value is known as a string. This is a string data type. Notice the quotation marks surrounding the words. So as you can see, JavaScript contains different data types. And there's more than just numbers and strings. Let's now take a look at the different data types that we have available to us in JavaScript. Okay, so the best way to think about these data types then is in terms of primitives and non-primitives. It's always good when we can categorize things, makes things easier to learn. So first let's take a look at the primitive data types. So we have number, string, Boolean, BigInt, symbol, undefined, and null. So these are all known as primitive data types or simply primitives. For non-primitives, there's only a single data type called object. And these could be things such as arrays, functions, and objects themselves. Don't worry too much at this stage if that confuses you, everything will be made clear as we progress. So as mentioned then, these first 7 are known as primitive data types or simply primitives. The word primitive means simple or basic. Now the reason why these are known as primitives is because the data that they hold, remember we're looking at data types in this lesson, are single simple data values. Those values are immutable, meaning that we cannot change those values, and those values have no properties or methods. Now at this stage that might confuse you because you might be saying, well, what are properties and methods anyway? And that brings me nicely onto the object data type. Remember we said that primitives can only hold single simple data values. Well, in contrast, an object data type is used to store multiple and more complex values. Now what we'll do as we go throughout this series is we'll deal with these primitive types first, and then we'll start looking at object data types in detail, so arrays, functions, and then objects themselves. And by the way, objects are a huge part of JavaScript, as you'll come to see. So think of this lesson then as an intro to the different data types. Let's start then with looking at the primitives first. We'll start with number. Okay, so first let's go ahead and remove this string. So we've just got our number data type now. So unlike some other languages, JavaScript has only one kind of numerical data type for whole numbers and decimals, simply called number. Other languages might use int, which is short for integer for whole numbers, and then float for decimal numbers. But in JavaScript, the number data type can handle both. So for example, we can say something like let new num be assigned the value of 7.58. So these are both known as numbers. Now JavaScript actually gives us a built-in keyword called typeof, and that basically is used to identify the type of a variable. So for example down here in the console, I can say typeof space and then the num variable, press return, and here you see it returns number. We can do the same for the other variable, so we can say typeof, and that was called new num, and again it returns a number. We're going to be looking at numbers in a lot more detail later on. The next primitive data type we want to look at is strings. So we can say something like let fav food be assigned the value of pizza, and let fav color be assigned the value of purple. Now a string is always surrounded by quotes. These quotes can be double quotes, as we've got here for pizza, or single quotes as we're using here. So strings are basically text values, whether it's a single letter or an entire paragraph. Because we're working with text, it's going to be a string data type. We'll look at strings in a lot more detail later on. Okay, the next data type we're going to look at is the Boolean data type. Now the Boolean data type has only 2 values. It can either be true or false, and this might give you some indication as to what Booleans are used for. They can be used to compare and assess a condition and then perform an action depending on whether that outcome is true or false. We'll look at Booleans in more detail later on. For now, let's take a look at a quick example. So here I'm just going to say console.log, and in the parentheses here I'm going to say 1 space greater than 100. Now if you save this and have a look at the console returns false. And that's because this isn't true, right? This condition is not true. 1 is not more than 100, so this is false. If we said, is 100 more than 1, then this will return true, because 100 is more than 1. You'll see the advantage of this as we progress through the series. Let's take a look at another example. We could say let JS be assigned the value of string, which is cool. And then down here, let's log JS double equals cool. And you might remember that in a previous lesson we spoke about the fact that JavaScript uses this double equal symbol here to compare two values to see if they are equal. Okay, the single equal sign, remember, is used to assign values. So what we're checking here is we're checking to see if JavaScript, the variable JavaScript, is equal to the string cool, which of course it is. So if we save this, once again we get true in the console. And of course we'll look at booleans in a lot more detail later on. Okay, the next primitive data type is BigInt. The BigInt type was created to handle really big numbers. The number data type cannot represent a number bigger than, I'm not going to say this, I'm just going to type this out. And if we use Typeof to check the data type of big number, let's see what we get back. So let's do console.log typeof big number. Okay, the console returns number to us. So the BigInt data type, and int is short for integer, was used to handle numbers that are bigger than this. Now the way that we declare something as a BigInt data type, we simply add the letter n to the end. So if we come here, let's change this to 2, add the letter n, save this, and now we can see the type of big number is now BigInt. Now chances are it's going to be quite rare that you're going to be working with really big numbers like this, so for now this explanation will suffice. The next data type, symbol, can be created by invoking the symbol function, and it's basically used to create unique identifiers for objects. We'll look at symbols when we cover objects in detail in a future lesson. Okay, the next data type is undefined. Now undefined is simply a variable that has not been assigned a value. So down here, let's say let channel name, and then just end it with a semicolon. So here, remember, we've declared this variable, but we haven't initialized it with a value. If we now log the type of this variable, you can see that the console returns undefined. And it makes sense. The clue's in the word, right? Undefined. Once we've declared this variable by saying let channel name, we haven't actually assigned a value to this. We haven't actually defined this variable. Okay, and now the last data type is null. Now there's sometimes some confusion about the difference between undefined and null. They're different as to their type. Null is used to declare a value as empty, so null is something that we specifically declare a value as, whereas undefined is reserved as the default data type for variables that have not been initialized, like this channel name variable here. Okay, so that's all of the primitive data types. Let's now take a look at our single non-primitive data type called object. So as mentioned earlier then, object data types are used to store multiple and more complex values. An object data type can be an array, a function, or an object. Let's take a brief look at each of these now, and of course we'll be looking at these in more detail as we progress through the series. Let's start with arrays. Remember we said that primitives can only hold single data values, whereas objects can hold multiple values? Well, an array is basically a list of different values. So to create an array, we simply say let, and then create your variable, so I'm going to call this my list, we assign the value, and then now to create an array in JavaScript, we simply type square brackets, like so. And now inside these square brackets, we can start listing out some values. So I'm going to say amit, and these are all going to be comma separated. Let's go for a Boolean value, so let's just say true. Let's say dev dreamer, and let's also put a number in here as well, so let's just say the number 7. And now if we console.log this, in the console here, we get this parentheses with 4, okay, because this array contains 4 items, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can also expand this as well, and that gives us a bit more information about this array. To access values within the array, we simply type out the name of the array, which is my list, and then at the end here we do square brackets, and then inside here we're going to type in a number. Now the number that we're looking for is basically these numbers here, so 0, 1, 2, and 3. So for example, if I said the number 1 in here and save, you can see we get the value true. If I said 2, we get the value dev dreamer. So to access values inside an array, we use the square brackets and then a corresponding number. Now you might be thinking, why is dev dreamer assigned the number 2 when actually it's in the 1, 2, 3, the third position? And in fact, why is it that when we type in 3, we get this value, the number 7? Well, that's because arrays are 0 indexed, meaning the first value is always 0, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, and so on. We'll look at arrays in a lot more detail as we progress through the series. Okay, next up we have functions. So a function is another object data type. So to create a function then, we can just say the word function, space, and I'm going to call this function hello, and then do a parentheses after it, curly braces, and then inside these curly braces is basically going to be our code that we want to run. So I'm just going to say console.log hello, and then down here outside of the curly braces I'm going to call or invoke this function by using the function name, which was hello, and then the parentheses. And just to let you know, it's actually the parentheses that is responsible for invoking this function. So let's save. And in the console here, we get the word hello. And we can use this as many times as we like. So we can say again. And in the console, we get hello 3 times. Now we can also assign this function to a variable name. So for example, let's just remove the function name from there. Let hello be assigned the value of function. And now if you save this, as you can see, that still works. Once again, we'll look at functions in a lot more detail later on. Finally, let's take a look at objects. Again, objects can be used to store multiple values. Let's take a look at an example. So here I'm going to say let character be assigned the value, and then to create an object we do curly braces like this, and then inside these curly braces, objects basically contain name value pairs. So I'm going to say name colon space, and let's assign this a value of Sonic the Hedgehog, and then we say comma. So these name value pairs will all be comma separated. And just like with arrays, we can actually pull the information out of this, of course. So let's do console.log. And the way that we do this is we use the object name, which is character, and then we say dot. So let's say we wanted to log the speed, so we can just choose speed. Let's save this, and down here, sure enough, we get the number 1000. So objects then store name value pairs. And of course, we'll be learning all about JavaScript objects later on. To summarize then, data types are the different values that we can use in JavaScript. There are 7 primitive data types, and then there's a single non-primitive data type called object. Primitives hold single simple data values, whereas objects hold multiple and even complex values. Okay, so before we end then, let's take a look at your tasks. So we have 4 tasks for this lesson. For the first task, I want you to create a string variable called favDrink and then assign a value to it. For task 2, I want you to create a number variable called favNum and assign a value to it. Then for task 3, create a function block called myFaves and then console log your answers from task 1 and task 2. Don't forget to invoke the myFaves function. And then finally for task 4, I want you to create an object called person, and then inside the object, I want you to set name to John and set age to 30. So go ahead and pause the video and try these out. When we come back, we'll take a look at the answers. So how did you get on then? Let's see. For the first task, I want you to create a variable called favDrink. So I'm going to say let favDrink, and then let's assign a value to this. Task 2 is to create a number variable called favNum. Task number 3 was to create a function block called myFaves, and then we want this function to console log our answers. Let's now call or invoke this function. So down here, outside of the curly braces, I'm going to say myFaves. Let's save this, and sure enough, in the console, we get lemonade and 7. And then for the last task, I wanted you to create an object called person with name set to John and age set to 30. So here, let's say let person be assigned the value of an object, and then we comma separate these name value pairs, remember. Let's just scroll up a bit. And then finally age to be assigned the value of 30. And let's just console.log person as well. And here we can see our person object with name set to John and age set to 30. Well done if you got all those right. Again, don't worry if you didn't. I know this was a lot of information to take in, so please feel free to go back and watch the video again. And once again, we'll look at all those in detail later on anyway. In the next couple of lessons, we're going to learn all about 2 different types of operators. We'll start with arithmetic operators in the next lesson. So guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to comment, share, like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you on the next one.